Hi, and thanks for being here on this Thursday, which is also the third day of October, which is more importantly the last day of summer. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb with that just a bit because, of course, I'm just referring to the last day of the 90-degree stretch that we have seen, still setting records again today, well above the previous record for much of eastern Kentucky. Will we see a return of temperatures to the degree of which we've had for the past weeks, even on a short term basis? Probably not. Wouldn't rule it out. Of course, it's Kentucky weather. But this looks to be the official end of summer weather, like what we have seen. 95 again today, but we've got a couple of cold fronts that are going to change all of that. One tonight, one at the latter part of your weekend. Tonight's is pretty much just going to change temperatures dramatically. It's Sundays that might actually give us some rain and some measurable rain, a pretty good shower or two. And I'll be glad to tell you about that in much more detail. On that note, the drought situation has been updated, and you can imagine where it's headed. We here in the viewing area and a portion of eastern Kentucky, well, have a very serious distinction in that as far as being the worst in the state. I also have a brief report on last night's special meeting of the not before last special meeting of the Sagersville City Council. A Sagersville woman arrested after running out of a Pikeville store with hundreds of dollars in merchandise, and authorities or employees trying to stop her along the way. Another arrest to speak of, and some other news and information. A few things before we get there, and only one, I guess, is not local or Kentucky news, but it needs to be mentioned that today marks 2 years and 2 days since the most unthinkable of things took place in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay, when it was there that a hotel room was occupied by a sniper who bared down on concert goers, killing dozens. Well, while the 2 year anniversary was marked day before yesterday, today there is some restitution going back to those families. Attorneys representing some of those hundreds of people, those that were killed, those that were wounded, 58 people killed, have announced, of the 58 people killed, have announced that they've reached a deal with MGM Resorts, which owns Mandalay Bay, that could result into paying out to the families involved some $800 million. And that is to all those who are participating in that lawsuit. Even after all of that, it's still unknown as to what caused that shooter, Stephen Paddock, to open fire on those people attending those concerts on October the 1st of 2017. But now, just a day or two more than 2 years later, there is once again an agreement in place somewhere in the range of $800 million or so. Depending on claimant participation, MGM Resorts will add additional amounts up to $800 million, says their attorneys. And again, that motive for that shooting is still, and it's of course still the deadliest in modern United States history, still completely unknown as to why he did it. I don't have any details, but I do have the identity of a man who was killed in a pedestrian-related accident in Floyd County. It claimed the life of 67-year-old Jerry Hackworth. He was a beaver man in Floyd County. He died after he was struck by a car along US 23. It was still unknown as of last report as to whether or not he was walking along the road or crossing the road when he was struck by the vehicle that was in the Stanville area near the Cardinal Country Store last night. It could happen in Kentucky. Not such a bad thing. Maybe considered to be a nuisance by some. But we all have tried to do it, and many unsuccessfully, and some worse. Kentucky could go hands-free pending the outcome of some proposed legislation that will be before our General Assembly. State Representatives Steve Sheldon and James Tipton have pre-filed legislation in the Kentucky House to completely prohibit the use of our phones or personal communication devices anytime while driving. Now, if that were to become law, that means you could not hold your cell phone in your hand while being behind the wheel of a vehicle. There would be a fine placed of some $100 for a first offense, $200 for offenses thereafter. There would also be an option for the first offense individuals to go to traffic school instead of paying that fine. A couple of arrests to pass along to you tonight. One out of Johnson County, a man who fired a gun at his father as he approached his house. The other of a Sagersville woman arrested at a Pikeville business, rather, after thefts at a Pikeville business. She was taken into custody at the McGoffin County Justice Center yesterday morning after authorities in Pike County say that she was caught shoplifting and running away from Pikeville store employees. Several officers were on the scene of an incident that resulted in the arrest of 41-year-old Jason Golden of Paintsville. This happening last night at around 7 o'clock when authorities got a call that Jason Golden was drunk and had fired a shot in the direction or at his father from a gun. The father and mother had actually gone to check on Golden and found that he'd been drinking, according to their statements to police. And when the father started walking towards the house, his son started screaming that he would kill him and fired a shot at the father, or in the direction of. The mother was able to get Golden back into the house, where he continued to fight with the father, and once authorities arrived, deputies, state police, and other officers, he continued to resist arrest and resisted arrest all the way to the patrol car, where he started banging his head and kicking on the cage once being placed in the back of the vehicle. On his way to the jail, the authorities say that he told them that he had shot or fired the shot because his father was trespassing on his property. He was charged with wanton endangerment in the first degree. I think it's a felony charge, disorderly conduct in the second degree, and resisting arrest. While McGoffin County Sheriff's Department officials arrested a Sagersville woman on an outstanding Pikeville warrant that was obtained back in August on the 26th by state police with the Electronic Crimes Unit. Trooper Stumbo stated in that warrant that on August the 26th in Pike County, this woman, Teresa Basham of Sagersville, 53 years of age, came into the Rural King and stole $310, almost $311 worth of clothing and left the store. However, she was viewed by store personnel on camera via surveillance committing the robbery and leaving the store. She was stopped by employees but continued to run to the parking lot. Her direction or means of travel thereafter are unknown, but she has been wanted on this outstanding warrant since August the 26th. She was lodged in the Big Sandy jail after being arrested here in McGoffin County and charged with theft by unlawful taking and operating on a suspended or revoked driver's license. Whether it's diabetes, arthritis, or injury causing you foot and ankle problems, or excruciating pain in your heel that's often easily treatable, Dr. Cheryl Cheney has over 21 years in group and private practice as one of the region's leading podiatrists, and she's now practicing right here in Sagersville. Dr. Cheryl Stalder Cheney is now seeing new patients, young and old, at Hope Family Podiatry Center in Sagersville, just next to the Lee's Famous Recipe. Call for an appointment today.
SSI and disability cases are harder to win these days. You need all the help you can get. If the government has turned you down, I will not. Many factors are considered when a claim is being processed, like your age, education, physical, and mental disabling conditions. When it comes time to winning your disability case, you should not face a federal judge alone. You need an attorney who is experienced, determined, hardworking, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping you win benefits that you deserve. If you need help with your SSI or disability case, call me, Donald Wayne McFarland, and let me go to work for you.
Right now, for pennies on the dollar, a huge selection of like-new laptop computers, a fresh stock of video games, the Cadillac of dog tracking and training systems, new hunting rifles, accessories, and ammo. And they always stock, buy, sell, and pawn gold and silver coins and jewelry with a new selection just in at Parkway Gun and Pawn in Sagersville, 349 Pawn. It can be one of the hardest parts of being a parent. You can beg them, bribe them, hold them down and try to force them, and sometimes you still can't get them to take their medicine. Well, problem solved at Parkway Pharmacy with Flavor X. Let your kids customize their medicine with some of the best flavors that really do taste great and It's totally free with your child's prescription at Parkway Pharmacy. So stop the suffering, theirs and yours, for free, and get your Flavor X flavored medicines at Parkway Pharmacy in Salyersville. From brakes, exhaust, suspension, fluid changes, to expert collision and auto body, to turning your 4x4 or diesel from mild to wild, get real auto maintenance, paint, and repair at Black Smoke Performance in Dixie of Salyersville. 349-8785. It's not all bad news, and it's not all good news weather-wise either. We'll get to your forecast and much more in just a few moments. Right now, a brief update on this Monday night's special meeting of the Salyersville City Council. The Salyersville City Council did not meet in regular or special session last month. A special meeting was held Monday night, and they are set to have their regular meeting on their regular meeting date later on in this month of October. But last night, they discussed a couple of formalities, if you will, second readings or votes. They also discussed in the 8-minute or so meeting transporting prisoners from the Big Sandy Jail to Salyersville for work detail and how they have to or need other means of getting them from one location or county to the other. The meeting began with a couple of formalities. First, the second reading of the Kentucky Power Franchise Agreement. Also, another second reading and vote on keeping the property tax rate the same as was voted on the first time during the last meeting. They then went on to discuss the purchase of a van used to transport prisoners from the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center to Salyersville here in Magoffin County for work detail, with Mayor Shepard explaining that they had found a suitable vehicle at a suitable price and that the cost of having prisoners do the work detail was very affordable for the city.
Proposed to purchase a van to haul the prisoners. We got our prisoners started on Monday. We had 4 on Monday, we had 5 today. We pick them up, duty picks them up, has to pick them up at the prison, and then bring them up here and he oversees them until he takes them back at 2:30, I think.
Can I ask you a little bit?
Yes, sir, go right ahead.
Have you drove it? Have you?
Yes, rode in
Here
it.
around?
I rode in it, yep. Tom, Donnie and
Everything
Dave been
works
driving
good?
around. Yep, everything looks good. It's not got the original motor. It's got a newer motor that's been put in, but it's not got, I don't know how many miles that on it, but it runs really good. We can convert it into the back part of it's plenty of room to where we can haul our weed eaters in it and everything, and put all our equipment back there, and then just have plenty of room to haul them and then to get them. So,
Is it overall good running condition?
yeah, it's real. Everybody, Paul checked it out, the fire chief, we've all checked it out. Looks good. They want $2,500.
What's the sticker price?
14,000 is what it looks for, and they want 2,500 for it. It's a used. It came from senior citizens, one of the senior citizens.
Shepard says the city has been utilizing the work detail as such for about 3 to 4 days each week, and that he is in discussions with Judge Matt Wireman of Magoffin County to enter into a contract with the county, whereas the city would oversee those prisoners on work detail and subcontract them, so to speak, at cost to the county for work elsewhere in Magoffin. The cost to the city or county government is $4 per day per person, and that's providing one meal. Let's go ahead and switch gears and go on over to your community calendar. This one just not on your screen as of yet. Revival coming up starting October the 7th through the 11th. Pastor Tim Clark and the Bethel Bible Baptist Church on Route 30 invite you to come and worship with them and their church family for a week long of revival. Whether you're in need of salvation or just in need of some spiritual revival in your life, they say it's a great opportunity for you, for your family, and for your friends. Brother Mike Linden, pastor of Grace Baptist Church of Malone, Kentucky, will be with the worship team conducting nightly services beginning at 7 on the 7th. If you have any questions, call 349-1199. While I go answer the phone that's not supposed to be ringing, because someone sitting behind the desk may have forgotten to turn the ringer off, let me take you on to the rest of tonight's community calendar. 2 quick reminders from the Lakefront Church of God and the Water into Wine Food Pantry. They were closed yesterday because of, well, the weather having a lot to do with that, but they'll be open with full services this coming Wednesday, the 9th. If you have any questions, call 244-4818. This weekend, the day after tomorrow, they're having their Lakefront Harvest Festival with games, gospel music, country cooking, a silent auction, and much more. They hope that you will stop and join them. And also, you're asked to stop and join a wonderful meal prepared at the District 3 Fire Department Monday at 5. Fish fries, puppies, slaw and a drink, just $7. A world-famous, nearly, meal. and a wonderful fundraiser. They hope you'll stop by the District 3 Fire Department, eat with them, or take a plate or 10 to go. Get your announcements heard on the community calendar, brought to you nightly by McGoffin Farm Bureau. Phone, fax, email, Facebook, mail, drop it off any way you can tell me. We'll tell everyone else about it. With one final announcement this evening, coming via our obituary listings, brought to you nightly by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Services in honor of 71-year-old Pat Reed of Sagersville are going to be held this coming Saturday morning at 11. He passed away earlier this week on Monday, survived by sons Jerry and Robbie Reed, as well as a host of other family and friends. He is going to be laid to rest following services once again that begins Saturday morning at 11 from the Bethlehem to Calvary Apostolic Church. Friends can visit the church tomorrow afternoon after 3 and any time prior to Saturday morning's services. Once again, 71-year-old Pat Reed of Sagersville. At Sagersville National Bank, they know your house is much more than your home. It's an investment, and for many of us, the biggest we'll ever make. And whether it's for needed repairs and maintenance, or a new addition or renovation to give you some more room and more equity, let Sagersville National Bank deal with all the financial work and worry. Real and real competitive, hometown, homegrown, home improvement loans at Sagersville National. You're going to absolutely fall in love with all the new arrivals at the seasonal shop, from all the autumn colors and styles in ladies' designs, shoes and accessories, Charlie Page, Mud Pie, you know the name brands, to jewelry, Simply Southern, Natural Life, caps, cups, and more, to rooms of home decor. And all you'll need to decorate for the fall and Halloween seasons, plus everything from coffees to candles, but hurry, because everything Christmas is already arriving daily and will be out soon, and fall will be gone before you know it. At Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville, we have finally done it. After years and years of extensive testing, we not only invented the chicken sandwich, we have perfected the chicken sandwich. Come and try it and love it with a big, famous dipped breast strip, pickles and mayonnaise, or however you like it fixed. And if you like, make it a double. Just make your way to Lee's to get it, and grab a cookie while you're there. At your Sagersville Lee's famous recipe, where even our ice is famous.
I'm Dr. Jason Zimmerman at Highlands ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
Getting the best deal on the best tires with the best service has never been easier. Just log on to ConleyTire.net, check out the latest rebates, sales, and promotions, pick out the tires you want, and email, call, or come by for huge savings from the family who's been proudly serving the area for over 32 years. Conley Tire in Staffordsville, 297-2424. No surprise, it's all weather from here on out for the remainder of this evening's show, and an update on our drought situation is taking center stage tonight. An update tells us that it's just gotten worse, and we here in eastern Kentucky, parts of the viewing area at least, are in the worst condition of all. We're talking about nearly all of the state in a drought situation to some degree, and at least half of McGoffin County and a lot of other eastern Kentucky counties are in the worst thus far. Not as bad as it can get, but as bad as any other part of Kentucky is at this time. Yes, I think it comes as no surprise that it's only gotten worse. There is a little bit of hope on the horizon in your weather forecast that we'll get to in a few minutes, but right now, most everyone in Kentucky in a drought situation. 4,053,000. That's 93% of the state in some sort of a drought situation. That's pretty much everyone. When you look at the latest numbers and the information before you, we learn that only 8.3% are just in the abnormally dry area. That's the shades of yellow that you see. In the shades of tan, well, that's about a third of the state at 33.5, considered to still be in a moderate state. Now, we were in a severe category here for much of the viewing area, and much of it still is, but that's changed. 54% of the state, the orange area, is in a severe drought category. And if you take a closer look at the red, well, 4%, and that includes some of us, are now considered to be in an extreme drought situation. Essentially, that red covering pretty much the northern half of Magoffin County, pretty much all of Breathitt County, and then parts of Wolfe and Lee, Owsley, Perry, and Knott counties, all making up that 4% of the state, now considered to be in an extreme drought situation, as parts of the state, like the National Weather Service out of Jackson, have gone 35 days now and counting without any measurable rainfall. We here in Sagersville technically measured a little bit of rain, maybe a tenth of an inch or so over the course of last weekend. Nevertheless, it hasn't been enough to amount to anything. All in all, our water supply is still good, and we're still in good shape, and we've fared quite well considering how much dry weather we have had. And once again, we'll take into consideration we've got a pretty good chance of at least some rain in your forecast. Now, to help alleviate that whole situation where we won't have to talk about the drought anymore, I do believe, is some shower chances. Not tonight with a cold front that's coming and going to give us a much more pleasant air tomorrow, but a second, stronger, and more productive cold front for the latter part of your weekend that looks to be adding up with some potential rainfall. Maybe an inch, maybe two, maybe nothing, but I think it's going to be measurable to some degree. With that in mind, expect to bottom out right around 56 degrees tonight under partly cloudy skies. Nothing more than maybe a little light variable wind, 5 miles or so later on in the evening, becoming calm. Tomorrow, as that cold front passes through and still leaves us dry, we'll see the upper 70s. Tweaked now to about a 78-degree Friday, mostly sunny, mostly clear. No rain, but definitely a beautiful end to your work week. We will rebound, and we'll get back up into the mid-80s briefly and only for your Saturday in the forecast period. Saturday will be full of sunshine, and it's going to be a beautiful day, warmer at around 86. Nighttime lows also bumping up a 10-degree mark or so to about 63 during the overnight. You do see there at the bottom of the Saturday's page a 20% chance of showers. Now that's mainly after 3 a.m., so we'll roll it over into Sunday where we've got another cold front and another and better chance of some showers that might actually make things damp, at least for a little while. That cold front, again, this one's got more oomph to it, and it will put us right around 78 degrees again on your Sunday with the nighttime lows around 56, but this one brings clouds and showers, chances of which I think it's safe to say on your Sunday about a 50% early, but as the day goes on and into Sunday night, we're talking about an 80% chance of showers, the likelihood of which will carry over into Monday of next week as well. More clouds, more showers, and a newly adjusted daytime high, if you will, about where nighttime lows have been for a couple of days. More rain expected on your Monday. We might pick up an inch or so altogether, dare I say. 66 degrees for your Monday. How's that scream fall for you? And 67 on your Tuesday as that front and those showers pull out with just sunny and clear skies. And then we'll slowly roll out of the 60s to the low 70s at best. Wednesday, 72 and sunny. Thursday, 73 or so and partly sunny. So definitely it's nice to see some rain in the forecast, and I don't think anyone has been a long time since we have been so excited about getting a little rain, and it's all going to be mixed in with some really nice fall weather too. That's going to wrap it up for tonight. Just a quick reminder, one of our top focus points in the Sagersville Independent today was, of course, test scores for Magoffin County. It's a very informative read. The historical page brought to you by Grover Arnott was certainly one to see. A photograph I had not seen before of construction of the previous courthouse, not the original, but the previous courthouse on the grounds where, of course, the new Justice Center sits, and some other neat findings there as well, and a lot of other things in the paper that you just can't see, hear, find, or read anywhere else. Hope you get one if you haven't already, and hope to see you back here tomorrow night, wrapping up this week on Your News Today. Good night, enjoy your evening, and thank you for watching.